I think it was John Piper. If anybody heard of John Piper, he's a religious writer. But he was talking about how it's not so much books that changed his life, but sentences in books. Like just a little sentence that came along and it was like, that's the sentence right there. So today, what you're going to find is probably not going to be everything that I say or everything you hear or the testimony of everything. It's probably going to be when you talk to that one person who gave you that mindset flip. Or it's going to be that one sentence that was spoken that was like, that's the epiphany. And you run, literally, that is your fuel for the next 6 months. So really be on the lookout for that, because it's just a little, it was just like Jeffrey Combs with my mentor when I was undercutting to make my sales with Coastal Vacations. I was undercutting my competition because it was the Wild West. Somebody was going to be, it was $3,095 to get our level 2 product. And then you had to make 2 training sales. I said, you know what? Come in at $3,995. You don't have to make any training sales. I'll get it to you today. Okay. I was undercutting everything, and that's how I was bringing in money. Okay? So I was telling Jeffrey Combs, well, this is how I'm making sales. And he said, Mark, hey, that's what 6-figure earners do. So if you want to do that, do that. But this is 7-figure training, and I tell you, never undercut. Never undercut again. And I said, but I don't do that. He said, well, I don't care what you do. This is what pros do. Pros don't undercut. And I have never undercut a global sale. I've never made a deal. I've never said, come in, I'll spit you $1,000 back, or do this. And I've never done that once. It hasn't even crossed my radar screen. And for the first time in like a year and a half, I had a teammate the other day who said, could I undercut because it's competition with another global guy? Could I tell him, I'll throw him money back? And I said, you can do whatever you want, but it's what losers do. I didn't say 6 figures. I said losers. But I've been there and I know that. So just Jeffrey Combs putting that, it just called me up. And it was just that sentence. That was a huge sentence for me. So there's little sentences that you're going to get today. So be on the lookout, be on the listen for what those sentences are for you, because they can make all the difference in the world. That being said, little marketing secret right here. This is a gem if you get it. I talk about with closing that you want your prospect, instead of, here's what an amateur salesperson does. They start talking really fast and they puke all over the person. They try to convince them how beneficial and we're great, and just really going at and presenting and talking and fast talking and doing this, and powering over them to try to break their will down to buy, and then they have buyer's remorse. That's what happens with amateurs. What a pro does is completely switches the flip, whatever term it is. Switches the whole game around. And you want your prospect to literally pull their heart out and lob you something to answer, something to hit. What are your top 2 or 3 questions? So what I'm doing here is I want to be able to have this be like a home run day for everybody in here. I realize it's not probably going to happen, but my goal is that everybody in here gets what they came for. And instead of me coming up here and just kind of freaking out, hoping I can get that, hoping I can hit that, I have it right here. You see how this works? So now I know, like tomorrow, off the record, tomorrow's going to be a very different kind of conference than today's. And you're probably just going to be presented to, and you probably won't be extracted much, and you'll have a different feeling out of today than you did out of yesterday, because this is an interactive situation. And the more interactive you get with your people, the more they're going to resonate with you, the more you're going to actually be able to answer their issues, deal with whatever their issues are, and make a lot more money. Like just so much more money. It's not even fun. How much money? Funny money. So let's go over before we get to these questions, let's go over some of that avatar thing. That this is a concentration of people who actually paid $3,000. So just the first question I want in the avatar is, where did you, what were some of the things, and it can be, just kind of shoot it at me, where did people find their sponsor online? Let's just start telling me some things.
Radio ads.
Radio ad?
I got 2 of those.
A radio ad. Who heard from a radio ad? Like a Ty Coughlin?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
this is-
a reverse funnel system.
No kidding. See, this is why I'm doing it. I'm doing this for my own purposes.
And that's the only thing I got to benefit out of it, learning how to set up joint ventures with radio companies and stuff like that. So
So you're telling me, tell me what the ad was. 30 seconds. It was Ty
just
Coughlin.
60 seconds. It was just saying, started out with him laughing
Yeah.
and saying, okay, I guess we're live now. Blah blah blah.
A lot of people bought through radio. I just didn't realize they were in the.
Well, that's what sparked my interest. Then I went to their website and started googling everything.
Was it the reverse funnel?
$50K a month was the website.
Did you?
It was
did
just
you,
a co-op.
Did you talk to a leader, or did you just?
No,
buy
no,
it?
no. It was just a co-op, and so you just kind of fell under whoever
Yeah.
was next in line.
What team was that? Matt, Chris, or?
No, I was under some guy that was a month ahead of me. So.
Right. Unreal. Okay, radio. We might remind me to do radio. Let me tell you another brilliant thing another teammate did with radio. Radio companies will do joint ventures with you. So, and that's probably what happens, where you call the radio and say, we have, and this only happens if you have a system as hot as the funnel was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on a system that, God willing, will be way better than the funnel. I'm in it. I'm working on it right now. But what you say is we've got a system that creates $1,000 commissions. And if you will give us, so what happens is the radio gets their own link. And if we will do a joint venture with you and give you 50% of every $1,000 sale that comes through here. So what you do is with you and your sponsor, you say, you give $250 and I'll give $250. And then you can actually get free radio marketing. And I had a teammate who did this and got a lot of leads. Did we end up getting sales? Don't quote me. But he had his brother just hounding on the phone, calling radio stations saying, this sounds crazy, but listen to it because it's making a lot of people a lot of money. So, radio. Man, okay. I'm gonna copy this. When you guys see we have radio, don't be surprised. Okay, radio, give me another thing.
Postcard.
Postcard. Okay, these are all things I've never made money with. This is what's great about this. Okay, postcard. What was it about the postcard? Well, you came in from a postcard.
It was the J-Rod postcard.
What about the J-Rod thing was like? Yeah.
$43,000 in the first month from a guy who went broke to
Yeah.
rob.
So some of the
A lot
story.
A lot
Yeah.
of hype.
The hype got you.
It made me look at
Yeah.
it.
Right. You're like, I got it.
But that's not why I bought, but that's
Right.
what made me look at it.
Well, you and I talked, and did you buy before we talked, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't even sell. So
Unfortunately, I followed it up with, my sponsor put in 5,000 postcards and got 3 sales.
yeah.
And so it sounded good to me. I put in 5,000 postcards and
Didn't
got 0
happen.
sales.
Here's the catch with postcards. It's all about the list. So if we had a good list, and then that list got we just went to another list, and that list was a junk list, and people lost. I mean, cumulative like $40,000 on this list. So we quit using that vendor.
Yes.
But that's part of the risk you take. It's like a feast or famine. So postcards a little more, a little more freakish. But okay, let's keep going with where did you find out? Some more things that you heard.
Well, sorry, could I ask you a question on that?
Yep.
You said it depends on the list.
Yep.
What exactly do you mean by that?
The list is every quarter mailing lists get updated, okay? And they are people who bought Trump's Make Money From Home thing. And they're freshly created lists of people that bought Make Money From Home kits or whatever. So they come they were in a cash gifting thing or whatever. So these lists get purchased and they're fresh. Now sometimes they become not fresh, or sometimes you get an old list from a disingenuous vendor.
So
It's
it's
just a
quality.
crap game. It's a crapshoot to the extreme. But at the same time, it consistently will pull. So it's sketchy.